Am I the a-hole for telling my affair partner to take me to court if she wants child support? I did not know she was married. When she got pregnant she broke it off with me and ghosted me. I'm not on the birth certificate. Her husband is. I didn't even know she had a kid. Her husband did a 23andMe for the kid as a school project and found out he wasn't related to the kid. They are getting divorced. They had a prenup, so she is screwed. She got a hold of me and says she wants child support. I told her to take me to court. I honestly don't even know if the kid is mine. She found my parents and told them lies that they chose to believe because they want a grandkid. They called me irresponsible and said they are ashamed of me. They will not listen to my side, but I think I'm in the clear here. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for telling my stepsister that I don't give a guck about her and her baby? My stepsister, Jenna, is 16 years old, has a 3-month-old son. My mom watches him all day while she's at school, but Jenna has to stay home pretty much all the time when she's not at school because my mom won't watch him more than she has to. I've had to take care of him a lot. I'm taking very rigorous classes and am involved in a lot of extracurriculars, so I have very little free time. Most days I don't get home until 6, and then Jenna asks me to watch him for a bit before dinner, so I usually don't get to start doing my homework until after dinner at like 8. I don't think I've gotten more than 5 hours of sleep on a school night in weeks. When I do have time to sleep, I get woken up every few hours by a crying baby. I'm on track to be valedictorian and my grades are suffering because of Jenna's kid. My dad never found the milk, so there's now here else I can go. I'm stuck here. I decided I'm done watching her baby, so now I just go to the library or a friend's house after school and don't come home until 9. On weekends I leave the house as early as possible and come home at night. Jenna said that she needs me to stay at home a little more because she can't watch a baby without any help all day. I told her that she chose to have that kid and he's her responsibility. She said that her mental health is suffering because she can't go out much since I stopped watching him and I need to help her because we're sisters. I said that I don't give a guck about her and her baby, and if she doesn't want to watch him then she can get a job to pay for a babysitter. She's mad at me now and she told my mom. My mom said she can't make me do anything, but she's disappointed that I'm so selfish and she can't believe that she raised an uncaring brat like me. Am I the a-hole? Edit. The baby's dad's parents pay child support, but they don't want to be in his life. The dad goes to another school, so they have pretty much zero contact. We live in California, so abortion is easy to access, but Jenna chose not to abort, even though her parents encouraged her to. Her mom lives 3 hours away, and her dad doesn't watch the kid, because that's women's work. Edit 2. It was wrong of me to say I don't give a duck about the kid. I do care for him, I just don't want to spend my free time watching him. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for laughing at my biological parents' face when they told me leaving us was the hardest decision they have made? Our family has an interesting story. My bio mother's side and bio father's side have 2 marriages between the families. One of them is our bio parents, and one of them is between my bio mom's brother is 55 years old and my bio dad's sister 54 years old. My bio mom Linda and bio dad Chris actually have met in my uncle's and aunt's engagement dinner when both of them were 16. Linda and Chris are still complete wrecks. My bio dad was the troubled one of the family whom would have problems with school or the work, and my bio mom has addiction issues since she is 14 years old. When they have met and started to have a relationship, both sides of the family tried to break them up. They even sent them to different countries, but they stole $50,000 from their families, managed to come together, and ran away when they were 19 years old. They got married in a third world country, and they had me 25 years old and my twin brother when they were 21 years old. They thought we were dead weights, so they left us in the hospital and went into another country. Luckily they have checked into the hospital with their passports, so the hospital have reached into the embassy. Then they found my grandparents and they brought us back home, and we have been raised by our uncle and aunt since. We call them mom and dad. My parents were charged with child abandonment, but after 10 years of being MIA, the charges were dropped, and our families also didn't try to look for them. 2 years ago, they showed up at my dad's parents' house in a completely renovated look. Turns out they have finished their education, had stable jobs in the country, started to get mental health treatments, and they were sober for 9 years, and they have basically put themselves together at first 6 months. They have only seen their parents in public places, then they were accepted into the houses. A year later, they have met with us when we were 24 years old. Me and my twin brother started to have a relationship with them, and we are somewhat cordial right now. Last week, our abandonment topic was opened, and Linda told it was the hardest choice they have made. I started to laugh uncontrollably after that, and when they asked, told them they had multiple choices to come back, and they didn't, and our families were right not to trust them, and they would always have the eyes on them, and they should accept this at this stage. Linda started to cry, and they left shortly. All of the family, except my brother, think I'm being too cruel, and I should apologize, but I think they had to hear the unfiltered truth. Am I the a-hole? Story 4. Am I the a-hole for refusing to cook separate meal for my niece? I'm woman, age of 42 years old, live with my husband 45 years old, and our daughters 18 years old and 16 years old. We live in a different city from our families due to work. A few months ago my sister asked me if her daughter Kate, 19 years old, can stay with us, since she was starting college in our city. She was scared of her daughter moving away for first time, especially to a big city like ours. I knew Kate from before COVID time, and remembered her to be a smart, sweet kid. I discussed with my husband and we agreed she can stay with us. Kate moved in around 2 months back. She was fine, came home on time, let us know her whereabouts, no partying. The issue was with food. She had turned vegan. Normally I cook for my family. I cook just one meal for all. And we are all dairy obsessed people. Milk for cereal, butter in pancakes, cheese in everything. Eggs were our staple. Kate needed separate dishes altogether, and we needed vegan substitutes for her. Since those are way more expensive, I told my sister she should give money to Kate, so she can buy it. She stared, telling me how family doesn't take money from family to feed kids. I told her I would feed Kate same as other kids, but I won't spend excess money on her. She said that's fine. Since her mom won't buy it, Kate started buying plant-based substitutes with her pocket money. For dishes like pancakes, I made food for her using her ingredients. But every time I made a huge non-vegan meal, she expected me to provide equivalent vegan meals. I drew line at that. I can't spend so much time cooking another meal. She said everyone else got to eat it, while she was left with few stuff go eat. I told her she is free to cook for herself, and she hated that idea. It came to a boiling point last weekend, when we had a barbecue dinner with friends. She got upset that her salad was very basic, it was good only with chicken added, and had nothing else to eat. She complained and I told her she can cook for herself. She got even more upset at that, and called her mom crying about how I didn't make any good meals for her, and expected her to fend for herself. My sister called me yelling at me how I didn't love her daughter, and was intentionally excluding her. My parents are also taking their side. Am I the a-hole? Story 5. Am I the a-hole for not changing our lives for my brother's new stepson? I'm woman, age of 46 years old, have 6 older brothers. Our parents were trying for a girl, but they couldn't really afford 7 kids, and I guess, after they had us, they figured having so many kids is too much to handle, and let my older siblings raise us. Everyone, except me, were parentified so much that they all decided to stay child free, and got vasectomy to make sure of that. I'm child free too. Only one of my brothers has a daughter 14 years old. She is and will always be our only niece, so naturally we all love her very much, and we spoil her. The problem is the same brother remarried recently, and his wife has a 16 years old son. This was unexpected considering even his daughter was an accident, so none of us really expected him to marry a woman who has a child. The issue is we all love spending all of our money to go to expensive vacations, and any money that we have left gets spent on my niece. A few months ago was her birthday, and the cheapest gift she received cost $400. As I said, we'll enjoy spoiling her. A few days ago was the stepson's birthday, and we all bought nice gifts costing approximately $50 each. My sil is mad because we bought more expensive gifts for my niece, but I don't know what else she expects. The only way we could afford better gifts was by using our vacation money, or by changing the way we treat our niece, none of which we are willing to do. Story 6. Am I the a-hole for refusing to take my daughter during my ex-husband's week with her so he can go on holiday? Okay, some context. I'm woman age of 32 years old and my ex-husband 49 years old, and I get along well for the most part. We co-parent our 9-year-old daughter on a mostly 50/50 basis, with me having her for a few extra days a month due to his fly-in/fly out schedule for work. The only areas we butt heads with are his lack of communication and nutrition when it comes to our daughter. The nutrition thing is a pain to deal with, but ultimately not the issue at hand here. Since we've been divorced about 5 years now, he has consistently forgotten to communicate when he needs me to take her early for him, or on days when it would typically be his week with her. I've raised my concerns with him each time and asked him to give me more than a day or two notice when he needs me to take her, but he has failed to do so each time. Because I obviously want my daughter with me as much as possible, I always take her anyway and reschedule any plans I may have made for myself that conflict. Recently, he and I were talking on the phone and he says to me, "You know you're taking her for 3 weeks as of tomorrow, right?" I did not. He mentioned that he was thinking about taking holidays in September way back in April, did not say when in September, and never brought it up again. I had appointments booked for my week without her and an overpass trip planned. Out of frustration with him and his pattern of disrespect for me and my time, I refused to take her. My thoughts being, if I keep doing this for him, he will continue to forget and things will never change. I'm a very passive person and he knows this. I decided to stand up for myself and not accept his walking all over me. He got extremely upset with me and has demanded that he cannot count on me for anything and that he will no longer help me out when I need him to take her. Keep in mind, he has never taken her for me on his days off or helped out in that way whatsoever for me, so this really doesn't affect me in any way at all. He claims he cancelled his vacation and wasted $1,000 on it now because he has no child care for his week with her. I understand his frustration with cancelling his vacation. He on the other hand does not understand my frustrations with his lack of communication and has been cold with me since. Am I the a-hole? Thank you.